Welcome back. So in our last chapter, I was talking to you in detail about mindset, and in this chapter, we're talking about health, and they are absolutely interconnected. You're a mind and a body, and you cannot separate them. Your thoughts have a direct effect on your health. You probably know that people who meditate or do yoga have less stress and less illness than people who don't. So the way we think has an absolute effect on our body. And recently I was teaching several doctors my technique of RTT, and they all said the same thing. When we work in ER, 70% of the clients who come in have physical symptoms that are caused by their thinking, the depression, the anxiety, the asthma, the panic attacks, the illnesses, the phobias, the allergies. They're real symptoms that are driven by thoughts. And we keep trying to fix the symptom when really someone has to fix the thoughts that drive the symptom. And that's exactly what I love to do. I don't treat symptoms, I treat the thought that drives the symptoms, because when you treat the thought, then you really can transform people forever. The symptoms do not keep reoccurring. So everything begins with a thought. Everything originates from your thinking. That's actually very good news, because you can change your thinking like that. And if you don't believe that your thoughts have a direct influence on your body, let me show you that actually it is factually correct, because I also believe that when you see it, you believe it. So let me show you now. So I want you to imagine you're holding in your hand a big juicy lemon, a big juicy lemon. I want you to close your eyes, put your hand up to your mouth, imagine you are holding half a lemon in your hand, and I want you to breathe in that wonderful lemon aroma. I want you to squeeze the lemon and feel that waxy lemon skin, and now I want you to open your mouth. Open your mouth wide, go ahead and shove that half a lemon in your mouth. Push that half a lemon right into your mouth and start sucking out the juices. I want you to eat half a lemon. Bite it, chew it, suck it, tear into the flesh, swirl it around your mouth. Bite all of that lemon flesh into your mouth and start chewing it and sucking it. Eat that lemon. Drop your arm down, open your eyes. And almost all of you will say, wow, I did feel that. I started to pump out saliva to a thought. Because where was the lemon? Some people go, there wasn't one. No, there was. There was a lemon. It was in your mind. It was in your imagination. It was in your thinking. You pumped out saliva to a thought. You told your mind you were eating a lemon. Your mind didn't go, come on, I can't see it. Where is it? That's not true. Your mind went, you're eating a lemon? That's kind of acidic. That's going to damage tooth enamel. Let me pump out saliva to wash away the lemon. Because again, your mind does not care, nor does it consider for a second, is what you're telling me true or false, good or bad, healthy or unhealthy, helpful or unhelpful. It lets it in. And now you have to be accountable. If I tell my mind I'm eating a lemon and it reacts to a lemon that's only in my head, what happens when I tell my mind I'm going to get sick? What happens when I tell my mind I'm going to gain weight? What happens when I tell my mind I'm going to forget everything and mess up that meeting? I'm going to break out. I'm going to get a rash, I'm going to blush, I'm going to forget my words. When you say that, you are programming yourself to fail. I understand why, because people don't know this stuff, and they should. But when you know this stuff, you start to program yourself to succeed. I never go, I'm going to get a cold because I went out with wet hair. I say I have a fantastic immune system. I'm always well. I don't say I'm getting ill, I say I'm doing wellness. I'm well. If I do get a little something, I say I can knock that out of my system in 24 hours because my immune system is super effective, because I have a choice. You have a choice. When you're human, two things happen. One is that humans are the only creatures who can interrupt the body's ability to heal itself by reacting to a situation over and over and over again. So something stressful happens, we have a physical reaction, and it continues 30 years after the event. We got a stutter because someone broke into the house and terrified my mum. We got asthma because our dad left. We got a nervous tummy because we were left in daycare and we couldn't say to Mum, I don't like it here. So our body began to say it. Here's an expression I just adore because it's so true. The feeling that cannot find its expression in tears may cause other organs to weep. And what that means is if you can't open your mouth and go, you hurt me, I don't like it here, I'm unhappy, your body does it for you. When you're 4 and you're left in daycare, when you're 5 and you hate the babysitter, when you're 7 and you want to tell your dad you're unhappy that he's left your mum, when you're 8 and you don't like mum's boyfriend, daddy's girlfriend, if you don't have a voice, if you can't open your mouth, your body does it for you. People say, you know, my child's getting a nervous twitch. My child's got an upset stomach. My child's got asthma. My child's got allergies. What they haven't got is a voice that can say, Daddy, what you're doing is unreasonable. Mummy, this is unfair. This is not right. So the body does it for them. That makes perfect sense when you are 4, 5, 6, even 12. When you're 32 or 42 or 28, it's no longer necessary. So only humans have the ability to make themselves ill because they can't express themselves. Only humans have the ability to actually visualize themselves well and to make themselves well. So you have an immune system, and your immune system listens to every word you say. And if you say, I can't stand my job, I just wish I could have a week off, you get sick. If you say, oh, I'm dreading having to give that presentation next week, what I'd give to get out of it, your mind listens and it hears what you want. Remember the rule of the mind? Your mind does what it thinks you want it to do. You told it, I'm dreading having to address that meeting. I'd give anything to get out of it. Your mind goes, leave that with me. And on the day of the meeting, you can get migraine, you can get chronic diarrhea, you can get an upset stomach because your mind is doing what you told it you wanted. Get me out of that meeting. People say crazy, I'd rather stick needles in my eyes. I'd rather die than give a speech. Really? Really? Here's a choice, speech or death. I'll take death. Of course you wouldn't. Talk to your mind better. Here's the other difference between you and animals. You get to say to your mind, okay, mind, you work for me. Here's the deal. I want to give that speech. I want to be amazing. I want to be word perfect. I want to be phenomenal. I want to say stuff that makes my boss fall in love with me and think, oh my God, you're amazing. If you tell your mind what you want, it does it. If you say, oh, so unfair. I've got to spend all weekend working on my website. I'd rather kill myself. Your mind will get you away from it. And if you go, wow, I've got the whole weekend to work on my website because I'm building my own business. This is amazing. How lucky am I? I love working on my website. Your mind will go, let me fill you up with passion, energy, motivation. I want to give you a sentence that will change your life if you choose to use it. And here it is. I'm choosing to work weekends. I'm choosing to run a marathon. I'm choosing to eat better food. I'm choosing to look after my body, and I'm choosing to feel great about it. Your mind says, go for it. When you say, oh, I've got to eat rabbit food, it's not fair. I like pizza. I've got to go to the gym when my friends are in the bar. I could be at home watching Netflix and I've got to run around the park. I've got to eat fruit when I could be having a big muffin with frosting on the top. You're telling your mind you don't want it, and you will have zero success. People who succeed in having health and wellness have health and wellness up here. You can't start by fixing your body until you fix the thoughts that infiltrate your body. So when I go to the gym, I don't love it, but I say, my body loves it. My body loves lunges. My stomach loves crunches. My body loves stretching, because it's true. When I wake up, I go, my body loves juicing. My body loves Nutribullet. My body loves healthy food. And because I say that over and over and over again, guess what happens? Of course, it becomes true. The mind learns by repetition. I tell my body to heal itself all the time. I tell my body to activate healing. I tell my metabolic rate to burn off calories. I tell my immune system to fight off infections. I'm not weird. Loads of people do it. I've had clients come back from extreme illnesses. I had 7 doctors watching me do this, saying, wow, this is amazing. All doctors should do this. I'm going to invite you to look at your beliefs. You can choose wellness anytime you like, even when you're stressful. You see, if you look at an animal in the wild, when a lion chases a gazelle, the gazelle gets away, do you know what it does? It shakes. It shakes and shakes, and it shakes off trauma. Do you know what we do when we shake? We take Valium or beta blockers. Shaking is good. So when you feel anxious, you need to shake more. If you shake more and not less, you suddenly think, oh, hang on, I'm controlling the shaking, I'm causing the shaking, I'm doing it, and now I'm ready to stop. And it becomes a win-win. So when you're anxious or nervous, don't stop shaking, don't medicate shaking, shake a bit more, increase the symptoms until you recognize that you are running the show and you can stop it anytime you like. And when you've done that, start to do it with so many other areas of your life, because it's amazing. You see, when children are hurt, they express hurt. And as we get older, we keep hurting. Remember what I told you, the feeling that cannot find its expression in tears will cause other organs to weep on your behalf. And one of the best ways to be emotionally well is to express your hurt as close to the hurt occurring as you possibly can. Do you know one of the ways you define madness? Mad people go, do you know 30 years ago I lent you my shoes and when they came back they had a scratch? You're like, 30 years ago? 25 years ago I lent you a record and it came back damaged. I don't even know how to answer that because too long has passed. So I want you to learn to express hurt. It's one of the best things you can do for your emotional and physical health. When you don't express hurt, it gets stacked up with other hurt and it turns into anger. Let's give you an example. Let's imagine your boss, you did some great work and they took all the praise and you're really hurt, but you can't go to your boss and go, excuse me, I'm so hurt that you passed off that work as your own because you need the job. And so you just swallow it, you push it down, you learn to push the anger down. It's hurt, but when you push it down, it becomes anger. It attaches to other anger, it all lumps together and it starts to leak out until someone cuts in front of you in a line and you lose the plot because you got so much rage. Outrage is rage coming out. So here's what to do. You walk around the house and you go, I'm really hurt by my boss's actions. My boss has hurt me by behaving the way he did. I'm so hurt that he passed off that work as my own. You don't even need to tell him. Your feelings are like a classroom of children going, hey, notice me, pay attention to me. When you don't notice them, they regroup and get stronger and stronger until they erupt. And so when you can feel your feelings until they no longer require to be felt, you've cracked it. You know, when someone dies, we are so crazy. We go, oh yeah, my dad died. It was really sad. I went straight back to work. And 2 years later, I had a nervous breakdown. What was that all about? My boyfriend left me. I acted like nothing had ever happened. I was fine. And 2 years later, I got eczema. I got panic attacks. I got anxiety. 2 years ago, I had a miscarriage and I never told anyone, and I just carried on and nothing had happened. And then I had a breakdown because you push the feelings down. You need to feel that feeling, whatever it is, rage, hurt, anger, sadness, grief. You see, we only have a few feelings: grief, joy, happiness, anger. Feel the feeling. Say, I am feeling jealous. And that's not rational, but that's how I feel. I'm feeling annoyed. I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling resentful. If you keep saying it, the feeling goes, ah, you heard me, now I can go away. And that's why it's so important to say what you feel. After all, your little kid, if you eat their cookie, they fling themselves on the floor, kick their legs, have a massive tantrum, then get up, and they're absolutely fine. They feel the feeling till it's done, until we come along and go, don't do that. Don't shout, don't cry, don't kick your legs, don't have a tantrum. And they learn, oh, I got to eat my feelings and push them down. No, feel your feelings, and then you'll feel amazing. So let's go on now to your exercise for today. The exercise we're doing today is really powerful. Go to your workbook and I want you to write down, I was hurt by, I felt hurt when, what hurt me was. Don't do, he hurt me, my husband hurt me, my kid hurt me, my boss hurt me. I was hurt by, my feelings were hurt when, I felt hurt. Even if it's historical hurt, write it out and remember, people who are emotionally sorted are really adept at expressing their hurt as close to the event happening as it possibly can. Sometimes let's imagine it's Christmas Day, you're with your family, they're all being unreasonable. You can't really say, let me stop the lunch and tell all of you that you've hurt me, but you can go in the bathroom, switch on the taps and say, I'm hurt by my husband letting me do all the work myself. I'm hurt by this really inferior gift. I'm hurt that I don't even have a gift. You can say it, and when you say it, you know what happens? It goes away. And when you keep it in, it stays there for such a long time and makes you ill. Hurt is like gas, always better out than in. It hurts more when you keep it in than when you let it out. So let it out. Just like gas, do it in private. Secondly, here's something called PPP. Something can only get you if it's permanent, personal, and all-pervasive. Your boss is horrible. Is that permanent? No. When you're home at the weekend, lying in bed, having great sex, or watching Netflix, your boss is not in the bedroom with you. So it's not permanent. It's not even personal. He's horrible to everyone. And it doesn't go on all the time. One day you'll have a new job. Let's have another example of PPP. Your kid, your teenage kid, puts their hand on their hip and goes, I hate you, and you're the worst parent in the world. Is that permanent? Absolutely not. One day they won't be a teenager and they'll go, Mom, I'm sorry. I know I was a nightmare. Dad, I'm sorry. I've got my own kid now and I know that I put you through hell. So it's not permanent. It's certainly not personal. All teenagers more or less do that to their parents. It's how they learn to dialogue and stand up for themselves. Thank God they do it with you, because that's how they learn to come back. Is it all pervasive? No. They're out of the house a lot. So when you're lying in the bath or making dinner or walking around the store, your kid isn't with you going, I hate you. So something can only hurt you if it is permanent, personal, and all-pervasive. Now look at your issues, and I want you to notice, are they permanent? Are they personal? Are they all pervasive? If you can't say yes to all 3 Ps, they can't hurt you. They can annoy you, they can irritate you, but they can't affect you unless you let them. So that is your work for today. PPP, express your hurt and learn to feel your feelings until they no longer require to be felt. It's worth it. Do it now in your workbook. Go to the tribe and share. Oh, guess what I've realized about PPP? My mother-in-law drives me crazy. I only see it every 3rd Sunday, so how can she drive me crazy? I've realized that I'm allowed to feel envious of my sister-in-law who's got more money than me. I understand that I can say, my father hurt me because he always preferred my sister. I'm going to say it, and then I'm done with it. Thank you for today. Tomorrow we're covering something really important, the reason behind all addictions. I can't wait to share that with you. See you tomorrow.